What's up, guys? How y'all doing this morning on this wonderful Monday morning? It's a little gloomy out here in Chicago, Illinois. It's a little gloom and doom. I guess we will get some good weather eventually, but it's your girl, Knowledge by Nikki with 1K, and I want to talk to you all today about knowledge. I want to talk to you all today about embracing what you don't know. I am a avid reader. I am a lover of knowledge. I'm a seeker of knowledge. I'm so bad, y'all. I almost drive myself crazy. I could be watching a movie, guys. Just a movie, a TV show, anything. And if they mention a word that I don't know what it is, I'm instantly like this. Like, let me see what that means. I'm always in teachable mode. And because I'm always teaching, so I know I have to also remain teachable. But I want to talk to you all about something. And I think this shelter in place, for those of us that are still at home, which is me, we're not able to go back until June 1st, you might as well say. For those of you all that are already back out there doing what you do, just, doing it a little differently, I really would love to hear your comments on what it is that you now know that you didn't know that you are now approaching differently. So you all just, put those in the comments for me. Either go on my website, knowledgebynikki1k.com. And I just would love to hear that. But let me talk about this thing called knowledge. There's a reason that I named my company many years ago, Knowledge by Nikki. And for me, it's natural. It really is. Even as a little kid, I was always kind of the why girl. You couldn't just tell me anything. A teacher, I get in trouble all the time, guys. All the time. My mother, I get slapped in the mouth. She tell me to do something. Why? And it wasn't that I was being insubordinate or disrespectful. I literally want to know why. I just want an explanation. I want to have a better understanding of why you telling me either I can or can't or whatever you're saying. So I've always been the why girl. Okay. And I actually understand it now because I'm still that way. It's just, I've learned when I can actually say why and not, and I'll still go do my research. So let me give you the definition of knowledge first. Let me talk to you about that. Knowledge is this. It's facts, information, and skills I got on my computer right here, acquired by a person through experience, education, with the theoretical practice and understanding of that thing. That's it. In the title of this particular Facebook. I got this on Facebook. It's on YouTube. It's on Vimeo. It's everywhere, guys. On Instagram. It's all over the place. I asked this question, and I got this from a radio show that I watched, I don't know, girl, probably 20 years ago. And I don't remember what the disc jockey was, who the disc jockey was that did it, but he asked this question. If you could have one of three things, you could only have one, like right now, which one would you choose? And the options were health, wealth, and he said wisdom, which is knowledge. And it was amazing to me. Even then, that was 20 years ago. Even then, I knew, for me anyway, that knowledge would have been my answer. And obviously, several people said wealth. And the ones that obviously said health were the ones that had either suffered with health issues or had people they loved that had suffered with health issues, died, etc., etc. But the thing that's amazing to me, and I want you all to hear me good, in this time of shelter in place, those of us that are still home and those of you that feel like you just got let out of jail, you have to know that there are some things now, whether you want to or not, that you are going to have to approach differently. You're going to have to. It's not an option. So what is the difference in how you're going to approach those things differently as opposed to what you would have done before you were shut down? Well, I'm going to tell you. You now, if it's something you need to do different and you don't really have any idea of what to do, you're going to have to seek out the knowledge of what to do so the position you in, probably still in, you don't end up in again. You can't curl it out. I'm talking to my salon people. You cannot curl out of this situation. You can't cut out of this situation. You cannot silk press, flat iron, color. You are only going to be able to do so much with these hands. And I don't even care if the other hands that's in your spot. You're only going to be able to do so much, guys. So I need you all to understand that when you find yourself in a situation where you know you got to do something different, you like, I can't end up here no more. I don't care what the situation is. What you are going to have to do is seek out the knowledge to figure out how to get from here to here. And this is the thing that I see the least amount of people do. When I go to conventions, you know, who knows if we're going to any conventions this year, but when I go to conventions, they usually have the conventions separated by type of classes, you know, business classes over here, weaving, cutting, color, whatever. They generally have them separated. I can literally count easily a room that has a business class in it or something that will be teaching you something you really need to know, not what you need to do. I can count using the people that's in there. 5, 10, 2. But the classes that are about what you do, oh, them jokers busting at the seams. They standing up outside the door. They can't even close the door. And I'm not knocking that. I'm not. Though that's fine. I've been the recipient of that end as well. But what I am saying is you can't spend all your time and energy just learning how to do a thing. And I'm sure some of you all have heard that quote. I don't even remember who said it, about those that learn how to do a thing, that learn how. Well, y'all always have a job, but those that learn why, which comes with knowledge, will always be your boss. They will. They'll always be your boss because they understand beyond how to do it. Let's go back to the original question: health, wealth, or wisdom. I don't know if you all understand. If you want to get better with your health, you're going to have to know something different. You're going to have to know what to eat. You're going to have to know what not to eat. You're going to have to know whether you should consider protein or carbohydrates or fat or calories. You know, it's been switched all through the years what we should be looking at. You're going to have to know. And I don't mean just know from a commercial coming on TV that has told you what to do. You're going to have to know. And the Bible even talks about that. You need to know for yourself. You're going to have to read. You're going to have to. And the thing is, there's no excuse today for not knowing. Knowledge is right here at your fingertips, but we don't want to know nothing. Now, I've been a business restructuring coach, because that's basically what I do mostly, is I'm restructuring stuff, development coach for some years now. And it's amazing to me, and I think I figured it out. When I and other people, because some people have, I tell people you may need more than one coach. One coach can't necessarily be everything to you. There are different aspects of your life that one coach can usually not take care of all of that. It's amazing to me, people I talk to that I coach in one aspect and then other people coach in other aspects, and they tell me, yeah, my other coach told me to do this, my other coach told me to do this, and they never do any of it. They never do any of it. They've even walked them through where to get more information. I'll start you off. This is this piece. And let me tell you what I have figured out. This is what I have figured out about people that willingly don't want to know nothing else. And they know they need to know something else. You know what? I have learned from coaching that once you know that you are accountable. Once you really know something, once you have been told, once you have been schooled, once you have sought out the knowledge, once you have been trained, I don't care what form you get it in, you know that now you can't act like you don't know. You can't say, oh, I didn't know that. Yes, you did. Now you got to own it. Now you got to say, I just didn't do it. Or I just figured later, or I procrastinate, or whatever. And I really believe some of us, I'm not saying everything, but I really believe some of us with a lot of things are intentionally staying ignorant because we know that we don't know nothing. You got pride standing in the way. You got all of these things standing in the way. You don't want nobody to know you don't know, so you stay in these positions where you are drowning, you losing businesses, you losing houses, you losing all this type of stuff because you just don't know what to do. This is what I want every single person, and I'm going to go through some other stuff, to hear me when I say this. Whenever, if ever, you find yourself in a position where you are clueless to what to do next, you have got to say to yourself, not what it is that I need to do, what is it that I need to know? to get myself out of this situation? Because that's always what it is. Not when now you're going to have to do something now. After you know it, you can't know it and sit on it. That's unexecuted information. That ain't going to do nothing. But that you have to, every time you find yourself in a bind, I don't care what it's in, your business, your relationships, I don't care what it's in. Ask yourself this question. I'm giving you the script. What is it that I need to know? Who is it that I need to get that knowledge from? And what is it that I need to do with that knowledge that I've just gotten? In that order. All right? You got to ask yourself that. When I taught color for years, I taught color for years. I mean years. Still do it time to time. But when I taught color for years, I would have people in my class, and I'm trying to convince them, and these are mostly black stylists, and I'm trying to convince them that you can have a head of hair that has relaxer and color in it. And I mean, I don't care. They would love me to death, but they still would fight me tooth and nail. No. And God forbid I say you can do it on the same day. It was really like war. Like, no. This is what I would ask them. I would always ask them this question while they're being combative and swearing that it can't be done. And no matter what I told them, I would ask them this. I said, let me explain something to you. I know you cannot believe that every single black woman that you see when you go to the grocery store, when you go to church, wherever you go, are you telling me that you believe every single one of them that has color in their hair, none of them have a relaxer? Are you telling me you believe that? All of them will say no. I say, are you telling me that every black woman then who has color in her hair looks chewed up, fried, overprocessed? Are you telling me? Because I'm just talking about you walking around just looking at people in the world. When you go to the mall, they'll say no. You know what I tell them? I said, well, when you see somebody that defies your limited knowledge, you need to, instead of just saying it can't be done, you need to be asking, how did they figure that out? How did they do it? Because her hair ain't chewy. She looked like she got a relaxer to me. So somebody figured out something. Instead of us having all these beliefs, you talk about, let's talk money. Y'all know how I feel about money. You think you can't get out of this situation? You think a salon cannot operate and run successfully, a black salon, and you can't find good staff? Are you telling me that every single salon in this world, we ain't got to go to work, every single salon in your city, we ain't got to go to the state, we ain't got to go to the country, are you telling me every single salon in your city is failing? Are you telling me that? Can't nobody say that with a, first of all, you don't know every single salon, but you cannot say that. So the goal is, instead of coming up with these definitive things because you don't know nothing, the goal is, let me find one that is, and let me figure out what they did. Let me learn something. Let me know something. It is never that everybody is in the same position. We watch people go from being broke, working in their garage, living in their cars, to now being gazillionaires. And you mean to tell that's not just, now I do believe that you always gonna have to have and have nots. I believe that, because some people just aren't going to take the type of risk that others take to get to those levels. I get that. But I am tired of hearing people say stuff can't happen because they don't know nothing. I get on my own mother about that. Now, my mother is very sheltered. She ain't never really I try to get out. She's setting away. She good. My mother is notorious for saying, I could just mention something about my friend just had a baby. I didn't know she was pregnant. I said, well, why would you know that? Why? It is so common. And I realize sometimes it's just a figure of speech. They don't mean it literally, but it is so common that we'll say stuff like, wow, I didn't even know that. You right, you don't know. It's a lot of stuff you don't know. And if you want to become a person that is able to move and shake and get out of situations and know how to never end up back in this COVID-19 broke, ain't got no money, businesses closing situation, then you're going to have to learn something different, and you're going to have to do something different. And let me tell you where I also know from coaching that this becomes a struggle, because this is real talk I'm talking to y'all now. The minute you know something and you know what to do and you know how to move in the right direction, it's going to cause you to have to sacrifice some stuff. It's going to cause you to have to change some stuff about you. It's going to cause you to have to cut off some people. It's going to cause you to have to shake up some stuff that you really didn't plan on shaking up. It's going to cause you to take some darts. Knowing things and doing things differently, change is inevitable if you want to grow. And you're going to have to accept what comes with those changes. Some of us know we in stuff that we need to move out of, and we rather stay ignorant than to move. And because once you know how to move, it's just like people when they get money. I love what I heard Tyrese Gibson say. He was doing his little COVID-19 video. I think it was on Facebook. And he was talking about certain things that he got his family doing, his wife and whoever else comes through there. And he was talking about, one thing he said, he had a sauna. He got a steam shower sauna thing put in his basement. He said right off the bat, he said, I realize some of y'all can't afford this. And then he was just talking about some other things. And somebody said something that was talking to him in the background. He made this comment. He said, oh, no. I got over that long time ago. I am not going to feel bad about talking about some stuff that I got, that I work he didn't say but, that I work my so-and-so off to get. I ain't gonna feel bad about talking about it. No, I'm way past that. And a lot of us, when it comes to fixing your money, fixing your money mean you ain't gonna go on every trip. That means you gonna make some sacrifices so you don't do everything that everybody else does, because you got a plan. But you know it's going to make you an outsider sometime. You know if you straighten up your money and your business, it may make you have to fire some people and get rid of some people and say you can't work here no more. I am convinced that a lot of why we stay ignorant, it ain't that we don't want to know. It's because we know once we know, we are accountable. We got to change some stuff, do some stuff, and a lot of us are not prepared to do that. So let me go on a little further, right? In order to acquire, where you acquire knowledge from, this is where you get it from. This just real talk, y'all. You're going to have to research meticulously. That means, I know we on our phones, but you ain't on your phones researching all the time. You scrolling through Facebook, totally obsessed with what other people doing. You totally obsessed with other people telling you what to do, but you don't do nothing with it. Or you obsessed with just being entertained. And ain't nothing wrong with that in a controlled situation. But when you on there 7 hours and none of it is researching anything that could help you do better, then that is a problem. That is a problem. You're going to have to read. You're going to have to do some audiobooks. You're going to have to read. You're going to have to do something. Okay? You're going to have more intellectual experiences than you do emotional experiences. Y'all with me? And I know this COVID-19 staying at home has forced you all to have to think. It's forced you all to have to. I have loved it. Me, myself. I have loved it. I'm good. But I know a lot of you all that are used to being in motion and moving, but you ain't producing nothing. You have been forced now to sit and do something you ain't never done before, which is think about some stuff. All right? You're going to have to operate consciously. That means you're going to have to do some stuff and know what and why you're doing it. You just walking through life and just doing stuff just cause and not ever thinking about it. If somebody asks you why you did that, you can't even tell them. That's a problem. You should be very conscious with every move you make. But the only way you're going to do that, and let me say something. I did a live last year, I think, on insecurity. And I will tell you, I learned when I studied it, I learned so much about insecurity and how insecurity plays out in people. And it was things I never would have even thought of. And the one thing about insecurity, if you possess some of that, it's very hard for you to operate consciously, because to operate consciously means you have to expose certain things about yourself. You got to own it, as Oprah says. You got to own it. And that is very difficult for people that deal with a lot of insecurity. So if you want to operate consciously, you're going to have to work on that, okay? You got to develop good habits. Let's talk about food habits. If you know you don't want to drink pop, don't buy it. Don't bring stuff in your house that you know you don't want to do. Don't put yourself in certain situations where you know you weak. It's fine to be weak. Everybody got weaknesses. Look, I already know, sir. I ain't going. I'm not bringing that in here because I already know ain't nobody that strong. When you want to help yourself develop good habits, I put something up on Facebook the other day about half of it is more about just stopping doing stuff than paying and doing some other stuff. You just got to stop. But this is operating consciously, okay, which also means you have to become more self-aware, which also is the opposite of being insecure. You got to set obtainable goals. If you set these unrealistic goals, you're never going to reach them and you're going to always feel defeated. You got to set attainable goals. You got to set stuff. You could have the end game be this, but you got to set up all these little milestones and these markers in between, right? And you have to know what to do in order to do that. Encouraging others. Believe it or not, the more you encourage others, the more insecurities start to diminish. Insecure people don't give compliments. They don't. They can't. Okay? Insecure people don't take responsibility for nothing. And these are things that will always hinder your knowledge. If you are in this position where you know you're a little insecure and you can't do some of this stuff that I'm talking about, you're going to have to work on that or you're going to stay ignorant. And it's going to hurt you even more. Okay? You got to believe in yourself. You know, I will say this, and I have not figured this out, guys. I promise you I haven't. I have been coaching for years now. And I have had all kinds of people. And I tell people all the time, a life coach, I am not. I obviously have to take on some life coaching components to get people to move, but not straight up life coaching, because with all the encouraging that I do, I'm everybody's cheerleader. I still don't know how to tap into that when people just absolutely unequivocally do not believe in their own capabilities. I am learning how to really tap into that. And I don't know if anybody could ever totally reverse that. I think it's at some point, it has to be a decision. And what I will tell you is that in believing in yourself, you have to allow yourself to fail. You have to be okay. That also is something that if you're not secure and if you suffer with pride issues, it is the hardest thing in the world, because deep down inside, you know you don't believe in yourself. And then to put yourself in a position to act on this knowledge and do some stuff and possibly fail at it, it is the only way you are going to learn more about yourself. My failures in my life have taught me what I was made of. It taught me what I could do, what I couldn't do. That's the only way I learned it. You only believe what you know your abilities are as of that point. But as you go out and you just do some stuff and try some stuff, that is when you learn to believe more and more and more into yourself, because you have to allow yourself to take some risk. Some of us are bigger risk takers than others, but you have to be willing to take some risk and fail. So when you learn this stuff, you tried, oh, well, it didn't work. Oh, well, I hate the term starting over. I hate that term. I don't believe we ever start over. I believe whatever you failed at just became a part of your trilogy. It just became a part of the book, a part of the story, and you just keep moving. There is no such thing as starting over. None of us, unless you can go back in the womb, you cannot start over. All you do is you just keep going, and you allow this information that you learn, good, bad, or otherwise, you allow it to now become the knowledge. I told you, facts, information, skills acquired by a person through experience or education. That is what knowledge is. And the more you play that knowledge out and the more you become conscious as you move through life, that knowledge then becomes true wisdom and insight. And it will keep you from doing the same stupid stuff over and over again. This is something else that a lot of us run from. In order to acquire knowledge, you got to embrace pain, guys. You got to embrace it. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes being in pain. Nobody, but it's part of the process. God ain't never promised us we would never go through nothing. He ain't never said that. Never. You gonna go through something. You gonna take some hits. You gonna cry. Joyce Meyer said if God didn't want us to cry, he wouldn't have gave us tear ducts. You gonna cry. You gonna be betrayed. These are things that we are going to go through in life, and it may not be the best parts of your life. I have parts of my life that I learned more than I ever could have learned, but do I want to go back through that? Absolutely not. And this is what I believe. If you fail the test, guess what, guys? You might have to take it again. So whatever test God allows you to go through, you want to pass that thing with flying colors. So you can go on through it and move on and take everything you've learned from it and add that to your Rolodex of more things that you now know. That's what you do. And you have to learn from your mistakes. You got to learn from your mistake. Every time you go through something, and I'm still in awe about this with people that I know that have been through some really crazy stuff, and then they go through something else, and I'm like, that should be nothing to you. Because you have to embrace this. If you don't embrace it, the next time something happens, you're going to flip out too. Because now it's like the world. Any of us know people like that everything is just a catastrophe. Even when to us, it's like, it ain't even that serious. But everything is just the end of the world. They ready to go kill themselves. And it's like, if you don't get it together, you, first of all, these people will remain ignorant because they don't embrace knowledge. They don't embrace things that keep them growing and keep them from going from one place to the other. You also see I have in the heading, it's the truth, guys, in the Bible. I love the book of Proverbs. It's probably my absolute favorite, but the book of Proverbs and the book of John. John is about maturity. Proverbs is about wisdom. Those are my two favorite books of the Bible. But in the Bible, I actually researched it. There are 169 passages that talk about wisdom, talk about knowledge. Use that word, knowledge. Knowledge is the only thing, guys. I promise you, knowledge is the only thing that's going to change your life and what you do with it. I don't care. You're going to get to a point you don't want to curl no hair no more. You don't want to cut no hair no more. You don't want to do none of that. What is going to change that if that's the only thing you put stock in? If that's the only thing you learn is how to do your skill set better. And I still want you to hone your skills now. I'm not saying be raggedy. But if that is the only thing you learn, you're never going to be able to do anything else other than that. And then what happens when you break your hand, you break your arm, break your wrist, break your shoulder? You know, you ain't even got to be totally out the game to be knocked out of this hair game. You can just, man, you can lose a finger. I know a girl lost 2 fingers in a escalator. It's a freak accident. Some kind of way the escalator caught her finger, lost 2 fingers. Done. Done. I know somebody that had a bad car accident, crushed their left arm. They're done. Okay, you all, I'm about to lose some juice here. Let me get some more juice here. I knew I needed some juice. While we're doing that, because I'm about to go out. So let me go get a cord real quick here. I want to make sure that we keep it moving. So you all give me a second. I got iPhone cords all over this place. So let me plug one in real quick. Because I don't want to lose you all. Because I want to talk to you all about what I'm offering today. And this is a class that several of you all have asked me about. And it's normally a little expensive, so I've made it really low. Let's talk about money, guys. Let's talk about that. I know from talking to a lot of people that they have all told me their commitment to their finances coming out of this COVID-19 situation is got to change. That is the number one conversation I have all the time. You know, how to do from legal structure to just everything about money. How to pay people. Should I pay them different? How do I pay myself? And I'm in these conversations. I have to coach all day today. I got to coach today. I got to do 2 virtual trainings, guys. I'm going to be literally on a phone or a computer like all day. So this is the thing that I realized, guys. And I want to read this to you. This is the thing that I'm offering. It's only $10. I lowered it substantially. And this is what it talks about. Whether you're an entrepreneur, 9 to 5, or a salary employee, all of us want peace of mind. We do. We all want peace of mind about money, right? Did you know, and I don't know if y'all know this, I don't care what statistical data you go, I don't care what statistical data you read, money is the number 1 cause of stress amongst Americans, amongst the people in the world, really, but Americans. It is the number 1 thing. In marriages, it is the number 2 thing as the reason for divorce, infidelity being the first one. It is the number 2 thing. And actually, when I looked at all the different statistics, even in marriage, money problems and infidelity was only like a percentage difference. So that means you got some folks, you might do better cheating on them than messing with their money, right? So this is something that I want you all to, it is the thing that very few of us have ever learned anything about. I don't know about you, but I honestly don't know one black family, past or present, that I grew up around that knew enough about money to teach their children. I don't know any. So most of us came in this world, whether we were taught or not taught, seeing bad money habits, Seeing people spend money they didn't have. Seeing people live in situations that maybe had they done differently with their money, they wouldn't have to live in. We have not seen it done differently. So a lot of us have grown up from bad eating habits to bad money habits. These are things that are just ingrained in us. They're ingrained that this is what we do. But what happens is, and I did a video on this some time ago, the minute you decide you wanted to open a business, I'm talking to my salon owners now, everything changed. Because the world works off of a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You get W-2, you get unemployment, you get a check. The world works off of that system. That ain't the system you chose. So therefore, you got to do things differently. You have to make sure you set up your own retirement because ain't nobody matching nothing for you. You got to make sure you provide your own kids college if that's what you choose to do because ain't nobody doing that for you. I'm doing a class on insurance today. Y'all still can get in on that. It's $20. It's later. Go on knowledgebynikki.com. I'm doing a class on all the insurance that an independent contractor and a business owner, if you ain't got nothing coming from nobody's job, need to have. I got all of it. Okay, but there are times I didn't have it and it cost me. And I'm having that today. It's called Are You Covered? But you ain't got no job offering you no life insurance, no health insurance. You got to set that stuff up. Okay? If you don't set it up, you won't have it. You don't have anybody telling you, do this, that way if you don't seek out the knowledge. Everything that I have learned that I now give freely to my people so they can learn it, people I coach and people I don't coach. It's because at a point in my life, I went out and I asked people, tell me if a person denied me for credit, I will literally ask them why. If they don't know, I will say, is there anybody I could talk to? And I'm not saying this to debate whether I should get it or not. I want to know what happened so I could fix it. That's literally, what do I need to do different? It's amazing how many of them would tell me. Okay, so this is something I want to help you all learn. There is a difference. Most of us are not even financially stable. We are living client to client, not even paycheck to paycheck. We living client to client. We living from one day to the next. We getting money one day, paying bills with that, and then we waiting on tomorrow so we can pay another bill. Then we waiting on the third day so we can pay another bill. Except this is what we're doing, guys. How long are we going to keep living like that? I did it for years, and I was making stupid money. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Why am I still living like this, making the kind of money that I made? Owner, worker, it made no sense. And I had to say, something got to give. I can't keep living like this. This is stupid to me. It was pure dumb. So I said, And it's clearly I don't know what else to do. Clearly, I don't know how else to live. I don't know how to change this mindset. I don't know how to do things differently. Clearly, that's what it was. So I started seeking out people. I was the dumbest one in the group. Throwing stuff on people's desks. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm clearly doing something wrong because everybody don't live like this. Some people have figured it out, and I started seeking out how to do different. And the one thing I was told constantly is you got to change the way you think. You got to change the way you view your life. You cannot try to run and hang out with people that have a different system that they work on. See, 9 to 5ers, they ain't worried about retirement. They figure the pension gonna be there, and some of them they got tricked too. The pension gonna be there. They don't worry about that. We're not in that position. We have to be concerned about that. That means you may not be able to go on every family vacation. You may not at least now. I put a post up this morning, either last night, and the post I put up said this. It said, a true entrepreneur, a true one, we've accepted the fact, we've chosen to live for a few years, unlike most people will ever live. We've chosen to live this way like most people won't. And the reason we've chosen this is so in our later years in our life, we can live the way most people can't. That is the decision that you should have made consciously when you decided I want to be an owner, because it changed everything, right? So what I'm offering to you all, I normally do that class for a lot more money. It's $9.99, y'all. Don't play with me. And it's 3 hours. That class I'm offering to you, I'm going to teach you how to go from being from client to client, because I done it, to being financially stable, just able to pay the bills. You can't do nothing extra, but you can at least pay the bills. Then to being financially secure, where you can do a little extra stuff. Start saving to buy a house, start saving to buy real estate, start saving to invest. I don't care what you're trying to do. And then to ultimately being financially free. The biggest thing I need you to understand is with those three different things is that they require you to shift in the way you think. They require you to now say what was important to you 10 years ago. You could care less about that. They will make you say, my car is fine. I don't need a new car. My car paid for, it's fine. What I need a new car for? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't got no dings. Ain't got no scratches. It ride good. What I need a new car for? They will make you make sacrifices willingly because you got your eye on a bigger prize. They will change the circle of people you around. Everything will change. Let me tell you something that also happens. Everybody that I now coach, I only now coach salon owners. If you ain't a salon owner, don't even ask me about coaching. I only coach salon owners, the ones that I have been able to successfully get from here to there, to there, to there. They even are able to find staff easier because it brings a certain clarity to what it is that you need, what you don't need. You become extremely comfortable with saying no before it even get that bad. No, we're not going to keep doing this. This ain't going to work. We're not compatible. You become really comfortable about knowing what you need. I need this kind of person to be in my facility. I don't need that kind of person. You become more keen on identifying because I give you systems that you can identify. Your insight becomes keener where you can see some stuff before it even get to that point. These are things that are gonna, because the thing is, in order to get to where you're financially stable, then secure, then free, you have to become a different person. It's just that simple. Your mind don't change without you changing. It's impossible. And that only comes through the amount of knowledge that you put into this brain on a regular basis. That's the only way this happens. It does not happen any other way. So I want to challenge you to I would say at least what we made next 6-7 months. I want to challenge you all. For every dollar you spend on learning how to do something, I want you to match that dollar with learning how to with knowing something, with learning something that doesn't require you to do anything with your hands. I want you to match it. If you're going to pay for a $300 class to go learn how to do a wig on a machine, okay, I ain't got no problem with that. I need you to spend $300 the next time on learning maybe how to, or paying someone to put your legal structure for your business in the right perspective. Because right now you're paying too much in taxes. I want you to pay to learn more about what legal structure you should be in. I want you to pay more for maybe a digital marketing company that could teach you how to make money when you sleep. That's what I want you to start doing. I want you to start now paying for things, match dollar for dollar to what you gonna do, to what you need to know. And that's about your money. That's about your structure. That's about getting the right people in your business. That's about learning how to pay them. That's about learning about the insurance you need. That I see a lot of y'all that kick butt with retail. I'm actually doing a retail training tomorrow. So I'll put that online. You all want to get in on that? I'm doing a retail and merchandising training. I'm helping you understand how to make retail literally. For those of you all that have a salon, I want to teach you how to make retail do what 2 chairs can do. I'll give you an example. 2 chairs in the salon, booth rent, weekly booth rent at $200 is $13,000 a year. At $13,000 a year, your retail, if you do it right, it should be able, and that's already online actually. You can purchase that training too. That's tomorrow. You can actually make that retail make $26,000 a year. And that's without a whole lot of effort. That's actually easy. That's a little over $2,000 a month in retail. And I'm talking about a booth rental salon. I ain't talking about a commission salon. Oh, you can make it happen. Yes, you can. And if you want to get in on learning how to do that, I see a lot of y'all. COVID-19 forced y'all to learn how to be some product distributors because you ain't had no choice. You saw what type of dollars retail can do. So imagine if you're not in a stretch situation, you got time to really map it out, making sure you're charging right, because a lot of y'all not charging what you should be charging. You really don't understand the wholesale game like you need to. I'm going to make sure you're going to be, matter of fact, I believe also in that training, I even help you understand the product concept with how much product you're using on your customers that are actually taken away from your bottom line. So your pricing structure ain't right. Okay. That is called a retail and merchandising class. So I'm going to give you the business in 3 hours. That's tomorrow. Okay, actually my accelerated group, they get that class. I have groups that pay for 12 weeks of training. They get all kind of stuff. They get stuff that you all don't get. But that also is online. Just go on my knowledgebynikki.com. You'll see all that stuff. The next one doesn't start until July for the 12 weeks. But you can take the trainings. Like even the trainings that they do, you all pay a little more for them. But you can take the trainings and go ahead and take them and learn from those. But these are the things you're going to have to know more, is the moral to that story. If you don't know enough, you're not going to be able to grow and your salon's going to be failing. You got to learn business, guys. As they say, business. You have to learn it. If you don't, you're not going to get anywhere. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say today. I wanted to just really talk about that because I'm actually happy about the conversations I've been having with people about they want to know more. But I want you to not be in dire straits where COVID-19 got you where you almost in foreclosure and on the street before you actually want to learn more. I want you to want to know more on a regular basis. You know, I watch those people on Jeopardy and I say, how these jokers know all this? You know why? Because they read a lot. They read. Only way you're going to know the answers to half of them questions, you got to read some stuff. Okay? You can't watch Netflix all day because Netflix ain't going to give you all them answers. And don't get me wrong, I'm a movie junkie. But I know how to actually do movies and I know how to read stuff. I do Audible. I actually buy books. I just bought a book and I'm going to read it first. And if any of you all are interested in joining my book club, I'm going to start a book club. And this is the only reason I'm going to start it. Because if another one of y'all hit me up and say, can you give me a list of books to read? I get this all the time. Give me some good books to read. So I'm going to, I got some winners. As they say, winner, chicken dinner. I got some winners. I got some books. And I have to read easy books. I ain't reading no complicated books. They got to be easy. They got to be to the point. I don't need you just talking too much. I need you to get to it. So I got some really good reads. So this is what I want you all to do because I ain't even started yet. Go on my page, knowledgebynikki.com, my website, and just subscribe. That's all. You get 10% off too if you subscribe. Just subscribe. You create a keyword because that's the list that I'm going to use to shoot everybody out my book club. I'm going to start it pretty soon, but it's one book in particular I want to start with. I won't tell you all what the name of it is yet. I just ordered it today. And it's a book that has come highly recommended to me, and I want to read it first. And then after I actually just got the real book. I want to actually hold this one and read it. Then I'll tell you all because I'm pretty sure that's the one we're going to start with, guys. So that's all y'all got to do. Go in there, knowledgebynikki.com, hit the subscribe button. You get 10% off if you want to buy something. And then you and look, if you want to do the training, I think it'll let you get 10% off the training. I don't know. But at any rate, this is what I want to start doing. I feel like God has put me in charge of that aspect of life, and the people that do listen to me is to help them in that area of knowledge. I'm more than willing to do so. I am also opening up. I had shut down my coaching for a while because I want to make sure I can manage so many people, but I actually kicked quite a few people out. Yeah, I will kick people out. I don't have no problem kicking people out. I don't have no problem firing people. I don't have no problem with none of that. And I did that not because they were bad or not because they weren't even doing what they were supposed to do. This COVID-19 shelter in place has also allowed me to hone where I need to stay. Meaning just because I can do this, that, and the other, I want to be more focused and stay in this lane. You know, I use this analogy a lot. Think about a general practitioner and a specialist. And even if you think about it from a money standpoint, a specialist always make more money than a generalist. And so I am refocusing and staying in this lane where I'm only dealing with salon owners who have owned for at least 12 months. And I have a killer coaching curriculum now. It has evolved through the years. It is ironclad. It's set in stone. It's really, really good, if I must say so myself, because I've learned what to do, what not to do, all these different things. I've learned what I need to add, what I need to take away. So I really got it down to a science now. So if that's something you're interested in, you could also go on my page, knowledgebynikki.com. You can click for a coaching interview to see if, we're a match and this will work for you and me. And I just want you all to know more. I want to see more of my salon owners be able to back up from the chair and run their businesses successfully without them having to lift a finger unless they choose to. That's what I want you to be able to do. And it can be done. I would never have believed that I would be in this position now where Financially, I probably do just as well, if not better. I do better, actually, than I was when I was doing 25, 30 people a day, killing myself. I don't have to kill myself no more. But it came from some stripes, y'all. From learning what to do, what not to do, from messing up, fixing it, and just constantly continuing to learn more so I can not end up in those same situations. So I'm going to get on out of here, guys, because I'm going to go find me some food. And I just want to say I love my salon industry. A lot of people try to pull me away from you all. Why don't you come over here and do this entrepreneur stuff for our business? And it's not that I don't help other businesses, because I do. But my heart is with my salon industry. It is the whole that I see in the entrepreneur system. It is the group that I believe is the most efficient. And I like going where the most help is needed. Okay, so for that reason, I don't care how much I get pulled back, pulled the other way, I come back and say, no, I got to help my own. And don't get me wrong, I got white salon owners, white school owners. I got all of them coming at me. And I am not in any way racist saying I don't want to help white people, but they don't have some of the issues that we have. They just don't, guys. They just don't. I deal with a lot. I mean, I got real friends as white, Asian. I'm talking about friends. You go to their house, they come to your house. So we talking about way past just talking. But I realize that it's my people, it's my brown people that don't get it. And I'm going to say this to you all. You all may agree or disagree, but the book that I'm coming out with at the end of the year, which is called Salon Slavery Ship, you all will see that on my page too. That book was spun out of me trying to understand why people, my people, black people, even when they were given the information, even when you all but did it for them, they still would not move. And I struggled with that for years because I've always been a mover. I have zero issues with change. Matter of fact, I have to sit down for a minute. I'm the opposite. I flip something in a minute. So I have to also reel myself back in and make myself sit down for a minute. But I struggle with, I don't understand. What you got to lose? You know, I would be having these and then I ran across and I actually talked to a historian that deals a lot in the area of slavery and where we've come from. And they enlightened me to the four or five types of oppression. And it was an eye-opener for me that I will never forget. And I mean, we've heard about generational curses. We've heard about all these things. And it really drew me to write that book. That book has been well researched. And it helped me understand a lot about why we don't move, even when we're given the tools to move. I'm talking about the money, the information, why we still won't move. Oppressed mentalities, people who have lived under somebody's thumb. And I'm talking about even more than just slavery to now. I'm talking about the things that have transited even in your own home. We have perpetuated a cycle for years, and we don't understand it. We are brawn thinkers. We are not naturally entrepreneur thinkers. It's not something we do naturally. That's why even when we go into these businesses, we don't even think beyond us doing all the work. We don't even not in the beginning. We don't even process us opening a business for other people to do the work, because it wasn't never that way. See, Caucasians, Europeans, they've been getting people to work for them since the beginning of time, from the slaves on. Asians are taught when they're babies about entrepreneurship. The reason why we don't understand that culture, I had a Vietnamese friend of mine that said to me, do you realize that some of us are taught, even in our communities, your dollar needs to go around this community 15 times before it goes out. These are generational concepts that are taught, that are inbred, and we don't understand that when we, black people, decided to be on the other side and to actually now be the boss and handle the business, everything changed. But we still have these mindsets of oppression. I know people that think it is wrong to profit. I'm like, how do you figure? I have salon owners that feel like it's wrong to charge people a certain amount of money. Do you know what that dress she got on actually cost the person she bought it from? That dress cost them $5 and they charge her $2.50. It is a mindset, guys, that has been ingrained in us. And I cry about it sometimes because I'm like, God, I believe one man can change the world. They can't change it by themselves, but they can sure put a dent in it. And I say, God, just give me the wherewithal. I could go a couple rounds with y'all now to put a dent in it. And I just ask that anybody who has come out of this and gets it, help me in this fight. The reason we are always bottom feeders is because that's the way we've been bred. We've been taught that you use these to make your money. That's the reason why when you open your shop, people had no respect for it. They didn't value what you was doing. That's why when you are an entrepreneur and you fall into straits, a 9-to-5 will tell you go get a job. If that's the problem, you need to go. Look, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stop because I promise y'all, this is such a sore spot with me. And I'm like, and the thing that even pisses me off more is that 9-to-5ers love to praise someone like Tyler Perry. He didn't get it working at no job. He didn't get it punching no clock. They love to praise entrepreneurs once they successful, but going through that journey, y'all, it's rough. It's rough because not only do you have to just deal with what you got to deal with, but you got to deal with people telling you what you're doing is stupid and don't let you have to turn around and borrow no money from somebody that's been telling you it's crazy. So now you really got to hear. Oh, I could go on and on with that, like real talk. But the problem is you're bucking a system. You bucking a system, and the 9-to-5ers don't realize you making somebody else rich. Whether you know it or not, you making them rich. While you telling me I shouldn't want, you make it every time you punch that clock. Trust me when I say, whoever run that game, they the ones coming out on top, not you. Okay, I'm gonna go. For real, y'all. Because, look, my chest starting to hurt. Those of y'all that know I got this little health issue I'm fighting with, my mother had to tell me every day, calm down. My chest is on fire right now, so I'm going to calm on down, y'all. I told you I got to talk for the rest of the day. So, look, I got to go ahead and put some Icy Hot or some Theragesic on here. My esophagus actually swells, guys. I'll tell y'all about that later. But I want to salute everybody who's willing to take that risk because it's worth it. Because not only are you bucking the people who tell you need to go get a job, you are bucking a system. The reason blacks are on the bottom of the totem pole is because we don't own nothing. We don't own nothing. That is the problem. We got to start employing people. When I cry every time I hear Tyler Perry talk, when I listen to that BET, a salute to him. I know I listened to it, y'all. If y'all ain't heard it, YouTube it. I know I listened to it 1,000 times because I'm listening to a black man that said, I now own that land that enslaved black people and I now employ X amount of people. Look, I'm going to get emotional for real because that's what it's about. But we got this slave mentality. It's a reason I wrote that book. And I had to pray. I said, God, because I know when I put this book out, I got to be ready to fight people. That's cool because I'm ready. Everything in that book I researched, I studied, I learned. That book ain't me just talking out the side of my neck, okay? That book is from me actually doing that book. I've been writing that book for 4 years. And I said, God, I don't know. Should I put this out? Because, you know, some of y'all be super sensitive. I started talking about slavery. You already know. But you know what? That's all right. I could take it. I could take a hit, okay? God has put me through enough, and God said, okay, y'all heard my video. He said, I'm going to toughen you up a little bit because what I got for you is bigger than you. What I got for you to do is beyond you, and you're going to have to take some hits. You're going to have to take some people. God let me sit in situations where I was betrayed at levels y'all would not ever understand by people that were closest to me. And I got past that. And let me explain again how God will make your enemy your footstool. Do y'all know in the last 5 years, people that literally betrayed me in ways that were unspeakable, 10, 15 years ago, I ain't thought no more about it. I got a call again even yesterday. I'm like, you apologizing me for what? What are you talking about? I have not seen or talked to that girl in 20 years. And she's calling me to say she's sorry. And I cried with her. I said, girl, that's water under the bridge. Girl, come on, let me take you to lunch. It ain't even that deep, but God will. She's like, I hear you got this. I hear you got that. I want to sow a seed into it. She told me, she said, I got $1,000 to spend. I want to spend it on whatever you got. I told her, look, I ain't doing no more hair. So just understand that. She said, I don't care. I got $1,000 to give you. I'll buy your products. I'll do whatever. So I'm going to go meet her tomorrow. This is what God will do. And this is somebody that spent a whole lot of energy assassinating my character. Y'all hear me? Okay, for real. I'm gone. Goodbye. Knowledge by Nikki. I'm out of here because I will keep going forever. Bye.